Now, this is a very special person indeed. I have got Jack from Mission Motorsport, and the reason that you come here every year with Mission Motorsport. First of all, what does Mission Motorsport mean to you?
Everything, really. You know, they picked me up from the dirt. They got me clean again, really. You know, like my first event was 10 years ago to this weekend, and I did a lot of reflecting last night. And without the charity, I'm not really sure I'd still be here. It's as blunt as that.
And it goes to show the key work that Mission Motorsport do for veterans. One of the roles you do for this special race, tell us about it.
My little trophies. So yeah, each year I make one of these. I make I think about 9 or 10 of them. And the poppy heads remain the same, but the general theme changes. And I try and get materials of provenance. Last year we got some return rollers from an M1 grant that did the Africa campaign in World War II. And this year the bases, they're made out of battens that came from the seats from a boat called Green Parrot that the Queen used in the Fleet Review when the vessels got back from the Falklands. So they've all got provenance, and I try and keep it that way. Stuff like that needs to live on, and I think this is a perfect place for it to be appreciated.
Certainly are, and that is an absolutely beautiful example. But the fact that you also, you know, worthy winners that come here, win their classes, get something as significant as this.
Yeah, I think it adds to the whole just vibe of the race. You know, it's just so special here because it's not about racing, and it's the only race you'll find that where racing really is second best. It's just all about us getting together, remembering, recovering, being with your friends in a really trying time, and it's just perfect for that. The cars are a catalyst to recovery, and it's just magic, mate. It's magic here.
Now, the one trophy I couldn't quite carry over because it is quite heavy, Perseverance, that goes to the overall winner. What went into that trophy?
That was a lot of work, that was. I got a brief off Jim Cameron. Can you make us a trophy out of scrap, please, Jack, for RoR back in 2020, I think it was. And he gave me a brief and I didn't like it, so I did my own thing. And as the build went on and I started asking about the materials, because she's got on Percy the stem is a piece of chain that was used by a draft horse, and I pulled the chain out of the mud on the farm where my workshop was. It was in the mud, and I built her up and made her, and that in itself was a lovely experience because the steel was so old, and the last person to smell the smells was the man who forged the steel when I was welding her, and it's a different smell with old metal. That was an honour in itself. And then I asked the landlord what the farm used to be back in the day. He said, in the first war it was a stud farm. We bred horses here and they got sent to the front. So potentially the chain could have been on a horse that ended up at the front. And I told my mum this, and my mum goes, you know, your great-granddad was a farrier at the front, right? So there's a teeny tiny chance that the chain that's on Percy ended up on a horse that ended up going to the front and then having my great-grandfather's hands on his feet. Tiny chance, but it's there.
And now the tiny chance that is on Perseverance, which is used in the Race of Remembrance, that helps people like yourself recover, and we honour our fallen.
Absolutely, that's the perfect description. We honour everyone who ain't here. You know, we remember them as a team, as a group, as a unit, all together. You can show your vulnerabilities here, and it's safe, and it's just too special. All of you's come to RoR.
Jack, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. It's a pleasure to look over these beautiful trophies, and of course we'll be looking forward to hanging them out to some very worthy cast winners later on.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you. So one of the great stories that we are going to hear up and down the pit lane this weekend, and getting a bit emotional as we head towards 11 o'clock, but for now back up to the commentary box.